A 50-year-old woman and her 39-year-old partner were arrested in connection with the killing of two boys in Soweto. The duo are facing murder charges. Nqobizitha Zulu, who's 5, and Tshiamo Rabanye, who's 6, were mutilated, and their bodies were found around 1.4 kilometers apart in Rockville and White City. And of course, this happened respectively and they were found by residents after a nearly 24-hour search last week. You saw us covering this particular story here on the show last week. Let's speak now to community member and White City Street Safety Patroller, Sibusiso Hlatshwayo. Thank you so much, Sibusiso, once again for your time. We spoke last week, and you, as you know, with the community members, were really hopeful that something would happen here, and saying that arrests need to be made. We now wake up to news that there have been 2 arrests. You must be relieved.
I must actually be relieved as a CPF member, because now that's exactly what we wanted to see happening. We actually thought as a CPF that we're going to take long to actually arrest these people, just like we normally do. But then fortunately enough, we managed to actually get maybe say the hint as to what's happening to this case here. So now it's been roaming around here that the suspects are arrested at the moment. Yes, indeed, there are actually 2 people that were actually arrested that are being mentioned as family relatives. And it's those people there, they were actually arrested. That was yesterday. So now we were called as a CPF to come and actually witness there. So fortunately enough, yes, indeed, those people, they've been taken there for questioning and all that. Yeah. And again, we wouldn't like to conclude and say those are the people that actually did that. But then obviously when they are on the hands of the cops, they now actually will be questioned, and then we'll be having our answers by tomorrow, which is Friday. On Friday, yes.
As you hinted there that they are possibly relatives, are they relatives to the families of the children, all of them, or is it one family? How are they known in the community? Is there anything you can tell us there?
Yes, gender-wise, it's been said that it's a male and a female, yeah. And they are actually a couple. Hence, the other one has been mentioned that the woman is actually 50 years, and then the man is actually on his 30s. But then they are actually a couple. Hence, we're saying they are actually a relative. Yes.
Are they related to any of the little boys?
Well, I wouldn't be too sure of that, how much of their relation is. But then, for all we know, is that they are actually related. Yes.
And the community does know them.
The community does know them very well, yes. They are members of our community.
How does this make you feel as a community?
Well, to be quite honest with you, we were angry when all of this year started. We were angry. We wanted to catch this person who actually did this year. But then as soon as we heard that there are people that are within our communities that have actually committed this, we just went weak. We just couldn't believe that it's actually the people that we're living with here. So now, can you see how unsafe are we? Because you don't know the next person, because now maybe it could be your neighbor or could be any other person. Like it actually pushes this trust issues. We're starting to have trust issues now. So what we're gonna do as CPF, and we thought that we should do as CPF, is to now expand our CPF now, is to make sure that we get into our households, we speak to our people, if they have got cases, if they've got everything, because we notice that everything starts within the family inside the house, and it goes out just like it did with this one year.
Yeah, and Spirit, pardon me, Sibusiso, sorry, pardon me for asking you this, and I know details will come out in court, but you were asked as the CPF to come and witness these particular arrests. Were you able to ascertain from that, whether through police or witnessing what was happening around, that could have potentially identified these 2 as those people that could have potentially committed these crimes?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, when we were called as CPF, when we arrive at the scene, where they've actually found all of that evidence there. Unfortunately, we couldn't see exactly what was in those evidence back, but there were evidence back that were there, and then they did find some evidence there. Some of the evidence was actually thrown outside the yard. Some of the evidence was actually within the yard, inside the yard. Yes.
Sure.
Because now they were using sniffer dogs as well to actually assist in terms of getting proper evidence and all that. Yes.
I'm going to ask you a very difficult question. I know it's tough what I'm about to ask you, because you said that some of the evidence was thrown around, the other evidence was, thrown outside of the yard. In your suspicion as the CPF, do you think these could have been some body parts that would have been taken from the kids?
Well, they haven't said anything about body parts, but then I've also heard that in that plastic here, there were actually clothes. Clothes that would have your blood stains and all of those things that would actually drive us to actually think that it might be. Hence, we're still waiting for our forensic as well to actually confirm, because they once took evidence, they once took tests and all that. So now obviously they're going to test with this one to match and see if it is correct.
A very difficult one. Sibusiso, how are the families coping through all of this?
The families are not happy. They're not supposed to be happy anyway in such situations. We meet with them every single day. Believe you me, whenever we get inside their house to come and check on them, they would start dropping and crying and all of those things. So you could tell that this thing here, it's so painful. They actually scared as well now. So even White City as well has changed its mood. You can tell now, around about this time when you walk around White City, you cannot find any kids now on the street. So you can tell that the community now is taking charge now.
And will the community be going to court on Friday?
I haven't heard of any court arrangements. We just heard of the date that they are actually appearing at the court. But as for the arrangements for us to, as well as patrollers to go to the court, no, we haven't communicated in that regard yet.
And Sibusiso, all the best, as you say that now you'll be going into the homes just to try and bring awareness. And I mean, good work that you continue to do to patrol in order to keep the community safe. And it's something that you're doing selflessly. Let me thank you, for your time this evening. That was a community member and White City Street Safety Patroller, Sibusiso Hlatshwayo.